Take me out to California.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. On this channel I largely talk about positive mindset, self-development and how you can be your best self. I also talk about family life, being a mum to 2 girls and chuck in some other bits and pieces here and there. On this video we are discussing celebrating your small victories, your small wins, and why that's really important to do that. So every single day we go through different experiences, we do different things, and it's very, very easy, and we are predisposed, that means we are kind of made to think in this way, we are set up, should I say, to think this way, we are set up to think more negatively. And so what tends to happen is throughout our days we will set out to do some things and we may not achieve all of those things. We may mess up, we may fail, because we are human beings. And we are very, very quick to be hard on ourselves, to feel guilty, to feel bad, to almost punish ourselves for anything that we do that is wrong. But even though every single day we do achieve lots of tiny little wins, we rarely, if ever, celebrate those wins. But it's so important that we do that. So when we talk about wins, I think that it conjures up in our minds big stuff. So we start to think about, I don't know, winning an award, winning a sports, winning at football, winning at a netball match, I don't know. But we rarely think about actually how we are winning in everyday life. And those small wins are actually the most important things for us, because they're usually the things that are, helping us through our days. So those small wins could be things like you got the washing done, the ironing was done, you kept on top of the house, you made a great dinner for everybody, you managed to get yourself down the gym, you actually, do you know what can be a win? It could be a self-care day, it could be a day where you really enjoy yourself, you spend time with friends. That could be a win. Depending on where you're at, depending on what you need in your world at that moment, that any of those things can be a win for you. So what I like to do is, I'm very much into lists. I do like to write a list, and I like to tick off as I go. And the reason that I like to tick off is because it's acknowledging that I won on one of those things, that I feel good that I have ticked that off. And I don't know if anybody else does this, but I even add things onto the list at the end of the day if I did something else, just so I can tick it off. So I can be like, tick, winning. And I think that's a very, very important way of looking at things and being able to celebrate those moments. But you have to really acknowledge that you did that, because it's no point having a list and then going tick, 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 and then still feeling miserable at the end of it, or thinking of other things that you should have done, or how you're not meeting some kind of stupid standard that you've set up for yourself in some way. You've won at this list, so celebrate that. And that celebration can be anything. It can be acknowledging it can be sharing that win with other people, telling other people, you know what, I had a brilliant day today, I absolutely smashed my list of jobs that I had to do. I feel brilliant, I feel so much better, the house looks good, or I did that thing, I completed that bit of work and I feel great about it. Maybe it's that you then allow yourself to go and do something enjoyable that you enjoy, whatever that is to you. You go out with your mates, you go out for some food, you cook yourself a nice meal, you go out dancing, whatever feels good to you, but you celebrate it in some way. And if you can do that, what you do in your brain, what is going on in here, is you are creating these little celebratory pathways. I'm sort of now thinking that there's like a pathway in my brain with like a full-on like conga, do 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 do, like people just like cheering, that like a little float going through my brain, like, yay Holly, well done, you legend, you did the washing. I'm doing that today, that's why I keep mentioning it. It's kind of a washing and filming day, and I will be winning at this, and I will celebrate this evening when it's all done. But yeah, so we have a pathway, we create a celebratory pathway in our brain, and what that does is it kick-starts these chemicals in our brain that make us feel pride and happiness and excitement about the fact that we've done this. And this feeling of accomplishment and pride then gives us a whopping big dollop of dopamine, and dopamine is what we need to feel that sort of happy feeling. We get that hit of dopamine from accomplishing things. So if you want to feel great, you have to acknowledge these wins, and you have to stay alert to them. So it's noticing that you've had a win, because it'd be so easy, because look, let's be honest, you were never going to take everything off your list of jobs to do. There will always be more jobs, there will always be another washing pile, there will always be something else to do. That's never ending. So I do think we get caught in this cycle of feeling like, well, I just haven't done everything. I haven't done everything. But listen to that sentence. I haven't done everything. I mean, it's fairly ridiculous, isn't it? I haven't done everything. I've done nothing. People say that as well, when you definitely have done something in that day. And we exaggerate and we distort the view of the world with silly language like that. Of course you're never going to do everything. Of course you're not going to accomplish everything in your life that you think needs fixed or done. You're not going to, and that's okay as well. But those wins that you do have, when you have a day when you just did something that you needed to get done and you feel good about it, maybe you did something like stepped out your comfort zone in some way, that's a win. Maybe you had that awkward conversation with somebody today that you didn't really want to have, that's a win. Maybe you made a new friend, that's a win. These are wins, and you have to acknowledge these moments, and you have to be alert to them. So you have to be in the moment enough to go, oh, that was good, well done, pat myself on the back, create a little pathway in my brain, celebration, people doing the conga, and give myself a little hit of dopamine. These are all ways that we start to feel better about our lives. If we can create this habit of celebrating our wins, then we start to feel better about ourselves, because we realize that, you know what, the world is a big old place with loads going on, and it's chaotic at times, and there does always feel like there's another thing to do. There does. And you accomplish something and then there's another thing. And even when you're succeeding in things, that somehow creates more work because you're succeeding, so then people do want you to do other things or whatever else. And so it does always feel like we are kind of on this conveyor belt at times, and that's why checking in with yourself and having these moments of acknowledgement are so important, because otherwise you will be complaining forever and always feeling shit about yourself forever, and then you will die and you will never have acknowledged that in this moment this is your life and you're living and you are winning all of the time. You who are watching this, you are a winner. You are winning all the time, even when you don't feel like it. Even if today you're watching this and you think, Holly, you don't know what you're talking about, babe. The house is a mess, I've accomplished nothing and I've got everything to do, then I know that you are winning in some way, because you're watching this video, which is probably going to be a win for you, because you're going to watch this video, take on board the knowledge, and then go off into your life and begin implementing some of these things that I'm talking about. I say the stuff that I'm talking about because I genuinely want you to be happy in your life. And I know that life is complicated and difficult at times, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, and we don't always feel great and we don't always get it right. But what I do know is that the stuff that I'm talking about is the stuff that's going to help you to feel better even when there's chaos. But you've got to kind of do something. You've got to do a little something. And today it just starts with celebrating something that you did. Maybe you want to get an actual a book, a diary or something, a journal that you write your wins in. There was some study I was reading about, I'm totally going to butcher this study, but they did it with people in a workplace. So they got them to write down every day I totally don't know the facts about this, but they got them to write down the things that they'd done in the week that had been really good, and they found that the productivity and the how everybody was feeling in the workplace went up massively. They did obviously have actual facts and figures to back up their study, but I'm just giving you my anecdotal version of it. But basically what they were saying is, because we were acknowledging that they were winning, it's the same way that when we feel gratitude about things, it's the same kind of thing. When we acknowledge our wins, we feel good. We feel good and we feel pride and we feel accomplishment. So then we want more of that. We want more of that hit. We want more of a win. So maybe you want to get yourself a little journal and just write down your weekly or your daily wins. Daily would be nice. Perhaps you could get a jar. So do this if you've got kids as well. This is a really good thing. I often ask my daughters, what was the best thing that they did today? What did they learn today? How did they win? I do different questions on an evening time with them, and often that would be one of the questions. So maybe you get a little jar and you write down your wins, and then at the end of, you know, the year, you look back and you can see. That'd be a nice thing to do. I might do that. I just thought of that now. I might do that with the girls, because then at the end of the year, when you have new year, and sometimes, and I'm guilty of this in the past particularly, not so much now, but definitely in the past, and I have to just check in, I'm not doing it. At the end of the year, it's so easy to go, oh, I didn't do that thing. I didn't do everything that I wanted to do, and then feel bad when actually you did loads of stuff and you won in so many ways. So wouldn't it be nice at the end of the year to open the jar when you're feeling that, oh, I didn't do everything, bullshit, and then just go, yeah, you did. You won on that day, because that day you went and met a friend and had lunch and you hadn't seen anybody for ages, and it was a win. On this day, you handed in that piece of work that took ages and you felt so good that it was done well and it was finished. Whatever. That would be great. I might do that. But you guys should as well. And we'll celebrate our wins. And if you've had any wins this week, post them below. Of course you've had wins. I don't know why I said if you have. You have had wins. Did you make a good meal for everybody this week? Did you make a good meal for yourself? Did you move your body a lot this week and feel healthier than you did last week? That's a win. Notice these little wins. They're really, really important. And just know that even when we are developing ourselves and working on our self-development, you are already enough as you are, with all your flaws, with all your bits that you think you need to fix. You are already enough. Have an amazing day. Peace.
Take me out to California. Take